Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is April 28th. And first things first, I want to apologize. Yesterday, I didn't release the video until this morning. There was some kind of tough technical difficulty with the page. So yesterday's video came out very about half an hour ago or so, and this one is the update here for April 28th here. So let's dive into things. You can see the upper level low across the interior portions. Right now it is centered over Utah. Frontal system making its way into the Pacific Northwest. This is eventually going to clip northern portions of California, but we are going to have some active weather here. We're going to have some thunderstorms for the higher terrain here as we go through this week. Then we've got another chilly upper level low. Looks like it's on its way as we go towards next weekend here. So I'll show you the latest on that here as we go through the video this morning. Looking at things right now, you can see the precipitation largely confined to Nevada and Utah right now. Not too much ongoing here across much of the state of California. If we look at the last 24 hours, though, lightning strikes, we did get some of that thunderstorm activity across northeast California, some portions of the northwest. Nevada also, no lightning strikes here for the rest of the state, however. Now, looking at the visible satellite imagery here, in fact, we can just bounce out a little bit more here so we can see the entirety of the state of California. You can kind of see the hit and miss nature, some of that marine layer, but actually fairly clear across a lot of the central coast. There's some low clouds in towards the Bay Area right now, some hit and miss low clouds up and down the coastline up towards Northern California as well. And there's even some lower clouds in towards the San Joaquin Valley and a little bit of that up into the Sacramento Valley. You can see some of the snow caps here in Nevada, and you see the spin in the atmosphere right there across the Intermountain West. So if you want to send me pictures, like look at this lenticular cloud activity across the Santa Rosas. I mean, just beautiful lenticular clouds. Go to the Patreon page. The link is down below, and go to the community section there, and you can send me all kinds of stuff, whether it's a puddle, it's raining, or you get a tornado or lightning strikes or whatever. Send it to me here on the Patreon page. Love to see it. I can share it with everybody watching this channel. Tempest Home Weather Station. This thing is very nice. It's got a lightning detection system with it. Also click on the link down below beneath the Patreon page link there. But yeah, very fun weather station. Highly recommended. For the price, you absolutely cannot beat it. Now, looking at the European model here. So we've got this, of course, the upper level low sitting around out here. And then the trough still kind of hangs out. You notice this is a ridge here up across the Pacific Northwest, but this trough is going to be hanging back. This is going to continue to bring some upper elevation thunderstorm potential here as we go through this week. And you see this upper level low kind of get carved out here as we go through Thursday. And then that starts to push off as we go through Friday. But then we got another chilly low pressure system. This cold air is going to arrive as we go through the upcoming weekend here. Almost a little bit of a repeat of what we just went through. So that is our next system we are going to be watching. And this kind of wraps up about next Saturday night there. But you can see that trough will be approaching us as we go on in through the day Friday. And thunderstorm activity generally off to the east, but I'll show you a little caveat to this here in a moment. And there's day 2 off to the east as well. So they're not picking up on some of this little thunderstorm potential here over the next couple of days. Not yet anyway. And you can see the National Weather Service Sacramento is talking about Wednesday and Thursday PMs, mountains from I-80 southward, some thunderstorms. You guys know the drill, lightning, gusty winds, brief heavy rain, and some small hail are the main threats. Warm week, cool weekend. Even the Las Vegas National Weather Service is saying, hey, look out. We're going to be dropping temperatures by about 20 degrees there. So be prepared for that. You know, this is May 4th, Sunday there coming up. And yeah, take it at look at that. Death Valley only making it to 80 degrees. Make sure to bring a jacket if you're headed out there. And you can see some of the other areas really cooling off by, yeah, like I said, 20 degrees or probably more for some locations as well. Look at Barstow, Friday, 86, drops to 66 on Sunday. So this is something I've been showing the last few days here, the Pacific High and how it dominates this north flow down the Oregon coast and the California coastline there for much of the spring and summer months. So this is the Pacific High right there. You can clearly see these northwest winds down the coastline. Then we bring what is known as a cold front there. And you'll see it kind of move in there. It squashes the Pacific High down, but still have that north wind. Then the cold front gets a little bit closer, and then we reinforce that north wind, and the next Pacific High kind of builds in the wake of that. Look at some of these strong winds causing these gales down the coastline as we go through the upcoming weekend. And the very chilly upper level low will be parked over the region by this time, and you can see the Pacific High just still dominating things. The entirety of this GFS model run is kind of highlighted by these north winds up and down the California coastline, with Pacific High kind of changing positions, but for the most part that north wind does not change. And this is a result of the Pacific Ocean being cooler than the interior air mass here. So you get the cooler, dense air here, high pressure over the Pacific Ocean, and that brings that clockwise rotation and the north flow for the state of California. So now looking at the European model, here we go. This is 6-hour precipitation type. And if you look closely, you can kind of see Monday today. It shows a little bit of precipitation across some of the higher terrain. Can't rule out a thunderstorm with that activity today. More on that here in a moment. We go through Tuesday. There's that frontal system pushing through the Pacific Northwest, may clip northern portions of California and some of the northern Sierra Nevada as well. Can't rule out a thunderstorm with that. And then we go on through Wednesday afternoon, another round of thunderstorms possible for the higher terrain. Here we go on into Thursday. Again, look at some of the coastal range is included. Transverse range, some of the Sierra Nevada also again on Thursday. And then as we go to Friday, yet again, rinse and repeat all this week. And then that frontal system arrives in the chilly upper level low, perhaps bringing some precipitation across much of the state. It's going to kind of be hit and miss here, but it could bring precipitation all the way down through Southern California. And if we take a look at where we are right now, pretty chilly low pressure system here, and that will be warming back up though as we go through this week, but there will be that higher elevation thunderstorm threat as we go through this week. Then we scroll off in towards next weekend, and you can clearly see again kind of a repeat there, another visit there from Mother Nature and its chilly upper level lows here as we go through the following weekend there. So yeah, that'll be the next system we're watching. Now, composite reflectivity, I just want to point this out. You can't rule out some thunderstorm activity, mainly southern Sierra Nevada, maybe a couple strikes there across Nevada as we go through the day today. We scroll off in towards Tuesday, and you can see that frontal system clipping northern portions here as we go through Tuesday afternoon, maybe a few showers across the Sierra Nevada Tuesday afternoon, and then we scroll on in towards Wednesday, and again, thunderstorm potential across the Sierra Nevada there. Just want to point that out for any campers out and about, people off across the backcountry here. Some of these could be prolific lightning producers by the time you get towards Wednesday. Now, looking at the high resolution rapid refresh, it does point to that potential as you go through the day today. Could get a thunderstorm or two with that. It kind of isolated, widely spaced out there. And then we go on in through Tuesday, and we start to look off across Northeast California. A little bit of a signal there. Nothing too extreme though. So upper levels of the atmosphere, 10,000 feet, 700 millibars. This is just pure temperature data here in the model forecast. And if we scroll off in towards this week, you'll see we're going to still have this troughing around the little upper level low, but then look at the next one. You can see just how cold that air is. And that's what's going to really drop our temperatures as we go through this upcoming weekend here. That would be about Saturday night right there. And if we look at the extended forecast, let's see if the artificial intelligence shows it, showing those daily afternoon thunderstorms there. There goes that frontal system, and you can kind of see the chilly upper level low shown on the European artificial intelligence as well. So we're getting some pretty good model agreement on that system coming for next weekend. Then what is to come after that? We're looking way off into the forecast, so take it with a grain of salt. Now look at the GFS, snow depth in inches. If we scroll on in through it here, we'll scroll through this week and kind of see we melt back a bit of that. But as we go towards this weekend, look at the GFS as well. It also shows that snowpack building back a little bit here as we go through this weekend with that chilly upper level low. So hoping us catch back up maybe towards normal there for the snow water equivalent across the higher terrain of the California mountain ranges there. Now, more on that here in a moment. National blend of models. This is for today, Monday, April 28th. You can see Redding getting up towards 81 degrees there, but, not very warm across a lot of the desert areas. Still under the influence of that upper level low. Here we go for tomorrow. We're warming back up. Look at Wednesday, a little bit more indeed. Thursday, Friday, but look by Saturday. Look at the temperatures really fall off. Some places maybe dropping down by 15, 20 degrees. And then Sunday, also another chilly day, relatively speaking here across much of the Southwest, cooling the desert areas all the way down into the mid 70s most likely. Then we go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and potential for a bounce back as we go through next week also. And snowpack there as of today. You can see we did bounce back here. We were down towards 70%. We're now back up to 74. You can kind of see we paused that decline there. And so that's where we're at right about now. And hopefully next weekend we can again kind of pause that decline and maybe get back towards normal where we're supposed to be at this time of year. And there's the 6 to 10 day, that below normal signal. They're clearly picking up on that trough as well. And above normal precipitation here over the next 6 to 10 days. So good to see that. Here's the next 15 days as well. And you can kind of see kind of a near normal here across Southern California, but above normal across a lot of Nevada and some of the higher terrain. And looks like we did it. We passed 33,000 subscribers. Again, thanks to everybody who watches the channel on a daily basis, especially my supporting members. This channel is not possible without you. But yeah, what else? Click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.